I am officially done with one full term of university. Studying abroad has genuinely been the best decision I ever made. It's also been very difficult at times, so I wanted to do a little reflection on my time so far at Warwick, and also just like some advice, some tips before you start university. There is a balloon behind me, which is why, yes, that is a balloon, in case you were wondering. But yeah, I wanted to do a bit of a more chill video, a bit unscripted, because I feel like it seems like I'm reading off of a script, because I kind of am. At least like I plan out my videos quite thoroughly before I film them. This time I just have 10 bullet points on my phone. First thing, university comes with so much change and really more freedom than you will have ever had before in your life, which is both scary and liberating depending on how you choose to think of it. I feel like at university, especially if you went to a pretty small school like myself, university just feels so huge. Like, there is so much change, there's so much stuff always going on, and you can really do whatever you want. So no one will force you to go to class, no one will force you to do your homework or to listen in class, to not go on your phone, stuff like that. All of these rules that were there at school just aren't a thing anymore. So it really is up to you. Like, you can choose whether you want to actually attend your lectures or just watch them online. If you want to pay attention or participate, like, everything really comes down to you. I feel like if you think about it, like, it is pretty scary because you have so much control over your own life. But you have so much control over your life. You get to choose. Leading to my next point, university is really what you make it. It all really depends on what you prioritize and where you want to dedicate your attention to. I personally felt like this whole having so many options meant I should just try and do as much as I possibly could. So I joined 6 different societies. I basically dedicated almost all of my time to either attending society meetings, doing work for societies, or just like thinking about societies. When I say societies, I mean like clubs or like the little groups doing a little activity together. I don't know how to explain it, but basically like clubs. In some ways that was amazing because I got to meet so many cool people. I got to do so many cool things, but it was also such a huge energy drainer for me in many ways. I felt like I never had time to just be by myself and do things that I wanted to do because I was always just like running around having something to attend or something to go to, something to help out with. So I feel like part of it is also understanding that you can't do it all. You have to prioritize, you have to decide what matters most to you, and I feel like that really just takes sitting down with yourself and thinking about your own goals, because I think there's a lot of pressure to follow a certain path. I think even career-wise, with like majority of econ students going into investment banking and spring weeks, internships, that's like a whole thing. But I think you have to think about what you want for yourself, and really that's something only you can decide. It's so easy to get influenced by other people, especially when everyone seems to be doing one thing, but everyone has different priorities and goals, so you have to decide what yours are and do the things that align with those goals. Another thing I realized is that people and relationships are really what make up your experiences. So I feel like when I think back on like my best memories from term 1, it was really not about what I did, but like the people who I met, which like sounds a bit cheesy, but like I feel like everything really comes down to the people in your life. I felt like personally coming to university, I realized I'm a much more social and outgoing person than I realized, just because there's so many people around, and I realized I love talking to new people, I love meeting new people, I love talking, as you can tell. I feel like that's a way that university is really different from school, because you do have the chance to meet so many new people, and there's less of like, I think maybe this depends on your school, but like for me at least, there was quite a bit of like, I want to say like division between the different grades. So like most people were just friends with people from their grade, whereas at uni, like obviously your close friends will most likely be from your year, but like through societies you get to actually meet a lot of people from older years, and like there's so much to learn from them as well. So I would really say this is a perfect time to sort of reinvent yourself a little, start talking to more people. At least for me, I felt like that made such a huge difference on my experience, because talking to people, meeting people is what really helped me learn so many things and also just have a great time. Of course, you do have to kind of find a balance here as well between like spending time by yourself and learning to be okay with that, but also branching out and meeting people. The more people you know, the more people you can get introduced to, and the wider circle you build, the more that will help in your future as well. Moving on to a different topic, cooking. Please learn to cook before university. I actually regret this so much. I feel like if I even put a little bit of effort into learning a few recipes, I would have been fine. Instead, I wasted so much money on buying food almost every single day for at least some meal or some snack. I was always eating out. Not only is this very unhealthy, but it's also not very economical as a student. So just learn a few basic recipes. I mean, I am really bad at cooking. If you know me in person, then you know what I mean. But at the same time, also understand that you don't need to be a chef before university. I always had this idea, especially when I was younger, I was like, oh my god, like I need to learn how to cook before I go to university. You don't really need to learn. Like I said, like I'm still here. I'm still alive. You don't need to have a bunch of perfect recipes. You don't need to be really interested in cooking. But what matters is just that you can make some basic dishes, that you know a bit about nutrition, you know how to balance your meals, you know how to grocery shop efficiently. Obviously these things do take time, and in the first few weeks everything can't go perfectly. I still had to get used to like how to shop properly. I still take forever at the grocery store. I'm working on it, but that's another thing I felt was pretty important. Next, spontaneous things are what you will actually remember and really appreciate. I was someone who really liked structure and organization. I wanted to have a clear daily routine. I wanted to wake up and go to sleep at the same time and have very set morning routines, good habits, everything. But ultimately, some of my best memories have been times when I don't do this kind of thing. I feel like university just gives you so many opportunities to just do anything whenever you want, especially if you're not living at home. I feel like that was a big thing for me, because just like making last minute plans or going out late at night, going on walks with my flatmates, stuff like that are just such great memories, and it's not something that you plan for ahead of time. So I think keeping yourself open to whatever may come is really important. Know that things may not go exactly as you planned, but that's also part of the fun of it. Next, getting used to things will take time. I feel like the way I'm describing it is very like romanticizing university a bit, but like it is difficult. Obviously, depending on your degree, the academics will vary a lot. In the UK, most degrees, the first year is, I don't know what the word is, qualifying. Like you just need to pass, but you don't need to get, your grades don't go towards your overall degree. So for myself and the majority of people I knew who also had that, it's pretty chill academically. My degree was quite easy, so I didn't have to put too much time into studying. Submitted my first ever university assignment. Closer to exam season, I would assume it will get a lot busier, but things like trying out new study methods, new study spots, daily routines, all of that takes time. I feel like I'm still figuring it out. 10 weeks was not enough to fully get myself acquainted with how university works, but I think it's something that you sort of gradually get. Another thing, stock up on medicine early. You will definitely get sick at some point. I was sick twice during just this first 10-week term, especially freshers flu is a thing. If you go out a lot during freshers week, I didn't, or just in general, I feel when you're in contact with so many people every day, like it's natural. So stock up on just like the essentials like strepsils, paracetamol, cough syrup. I have this little inhaler from Vicks, which is so great when you have like a blocked nose. Lemsip, other like, I don't know, like whatever other medications you can find. Like just get your parents to buy it for you in the beginning, and then just have like a stock so that you don't have to keep buying it throughout the term, because it's also very expensive. I realized, I mean, £6 for 36 strepsils is actually ridiculous. Last tip I would say is don't forget to rest and spend time alone. Even if you really like being around people, I've definitely become more social at university, you do need to learn how to be by yourself and how to do things on your own. Especially when it can get super busy, it's really important to just rest and recharge and not be too hard on yourself. That's pretty much it for everything I've written down. I truly feel like university is such a great experience. I think it depends a lot on the person, but from what I have gathered from most people I've spoken to, like it really is so great. I know a lot of my viewers are IB students, it gets so much better after IB. Like, I promise you, academically, I felt as though IB was in some ways even harder than university. Especially, like, I'm talking about, like, the IB exam season compared to, like, first term of uni. There's such a big difference. So really just, like, do as best as you can, but know that it will get better afterwards, I promise. I have had such a great time at university. Warwick has been so great. I am hoping to do, like, a bit more of a Warwick specific video, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Reflections on my first 10 weeks at uni. I am so excited to go back in about 2 weeks time-ish from now, 2.5 weeks from when I'm filming this. It's probably gonna take me forever to post this, as is the case with most of my videos, but I hope this was helpful if you're a current school student. I know I really wanted more guidance on what university life was like, especially at the beginning, so I hope this came in helpful. Like I said, I will be doing more uni content soon, so yes, stay tuned for that.